Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel Netcode. So in this video and upcoming videos, we are going to discuss about data formats. What are all the data formats and why we need different data formats, and importantly, how can we deal with the different data formats using Python. I hope most of you got what is data formats by now, right? If you not, the data formats is I can give example for some of the data formats, like for example JSON or YAML or XML. All these are the commonly used data formats. So we are going to discuss about all these data formats in this video and as well as the upcoming videos. So if you're watching this channel for first time, please make sure that you're subscribing to this channel and enabling notification so that you will be getting the upcoming videos in this series as well as the other videos. So that's it. Let's move into the data formats. Okay, so let's see what is the data format. So the format of a data, it clearly depends upon to whom the data is intended for. For example, if the data is for a human being like us, so we need the data to be in a clear text format. That is the easiest way, easiest format that we can read and understand. So for example, if you take a look, what I mean by clear text. So let's take this example. This is an output from a network device of this command. So this is a clear text. So here you can see this this data has a 6 columns, and each row represents a block, right? This particular row represents all the information about this particular interface. So when we see this data, we understand where a particular block starts, where a particular block ends, and whether the data is valid or not, and what this data represent. All this information we are able to understand from the clear text. But if we are providing the same clear text, same data in the clear text format to a computer program, it's hard for a computer program to understand where a block starts and where a block end, and how can it how can it consume a specific information. For example, if a program want to get information only about this particular interface, gigabit ethernet 0/2, how can it get the information about only that particular row. It's not easy for a computer program to get all these from a clear text. That's why we need a different data format if the data is for a intended for a computer program. Okay, so let's take one example. This is the similar data in the JSON format. JSON is one of the commonly used data format. So the data is in the JSON format. So you can see this is not easy for us. Like this is not easy to understand for us, but this will be easy to understand for computer programs. Here the data is the data is enclosed in the blocks, and the computer programs will be easily able to understand where a block start, where a block ends, and it can easily able to consume some specific information. Whatever information it wants, it can take that particular information from this data. So this data is in a JSON format. Now if the program want to get only the name of the interface, it can access this particular field and it can take the name of the interface. So that's why we need a different data format for computer program, to make it easy, right? It will be easy to understand where the block starts, where the block ends, and it's easy to validate the data, and it's easy to consume that specific information from the data. So that's why we need different data formats for different users, right? Depends upon whether the data is for humans, whether data is for the computers. All right. So let's go back slide. Now, as I said, right? So we need some different data for the if the data is intended for computer programs. So there are different data formats which is commonly we are using in the programming, mainly is JSON, YAML, and XML. So today we are going to discuss about the JSON. The JSON data format is it's simply the key value pair. I just shown you that one of the example for JSON data. The data represents as a key value pair. There will be a key which should be a string, and it will be having a value. Value can be any JSON data type like a string, number, object, or boolean, or null, right? But the key should be a string in the JSON. So the JSON is actually very commonly used in the API endpoint. So when we integrate APIs, we will be mostly getting the JSON data from the API endpoints. And if you want to represent an array in the JSON, we have to enclose the data in the square bracket. Okay, so let's take one more example for JSON and understand what I mean by the array of the array of array of object. So if you're using a notepad, just another tip. If you're using a notepad, I mean this you can just change the view to JSON by pressing Control Shift Alt M. So that's changed into the JSON view here. Okay, yeah, so you can see here the entire data is enclosed in a square bracket. That means it's an array, right? It's an array of data. The array have two elements. So this is the first element, right? This is the first element and this is the second element. And this is basically, you can imagine like this is an menu for a pizza shop, something like that. So you can see there are two entries in this particular array with different name and other information about that specific item. Okay, so this is what the JSON looks like, right? So now for a computer program, it's easy to understand, it's easy to consume the specific information it wants. Now let's understand how can we manage JSON data in Python, or how we can deal with the JSON in Python, right? There is an inbuilt module called JSON in Python, which comes with the Python package itself, so you don't need to install. You can just import it using import statement to our program. So the module name is JSON. So the first method we are going to discuss in the JSON module is dumps, right? The dumps is a method to convert a dictionary into a JSON string. Okay, so in Python there is no data type as a JSON, but this dictionary is a very similar to JSON. It's also a key value pair. So we can convert a dictionary to a JSON string using the method called dumps. Okay, so the dumps method will be taking argument a dictionary and it will return the the data which is converted into JSON format. Okay, so when we convert a dictionary to a JSON equivalent, it will be an object, right? You can see here. So the dictionary, when we convert it will be a JSON object. So the list or tuple, if we are converting a list or tuple into a JSON, it will be array. String will be keeping as a string, and integer will be number. True and false will be again true and false, and none will be changed into null. So this is the you can refer this table to understand the Python data types equivalent to the JSON. Okay, so that's what dumps. So the method dumps is used to convert the dictionary to JSON. So let's just take an example. I will okay, so I'm going to use Google Colab to just demonstrate just Google. Okay, I hope it's pretty clear now. Okay, yeah, I'm going to use Google Colab. So it's, you can maybe use your IDE or any other online Python compiler, but I just use Google Colab because it's easy and it has all all the module already installed. So if you are even using some other third-party package module, you don't need to install it in your system, right? We can just import it. So that's, for example, if you want to use pandas, you don't need, usually we need to install the pandas, or if you want to use the Paramiko, we have to install that in our system, then only we can import it. But if you are using this Google Colab, every package is already installed, we just need to import into our program, when we are testing. This is specifically useful when you are practicing code, or when we are testing some piece of code. Okay, so yeah, let's actually just see. First we can import JSON, and I'm gonna write a dictionary first, right? This is a dictionary. So name Tom and age 30. Order. Okay, I'm gonna make another dictionary inside the dictionary, right? So the order, name. I'm gonna put something like okay, apple, right? Price 100. Okay, so this is a dictionary. Now if we print type of A, Okay, and comma. Okay, so you can see now this where this data A is actually dictionary, right? It's in a it's a dictionary data types. Now we are going to convert this into JSON. So that will be become JSON string now. So let's J is equal to JSON dot terms. That's the this is the beauty of Google Colab. It always suggests us the method we want. So you don't need to remember anything. You know? So JSON dot terms. Now we are gonna convert and let's see the type of J. See now this is str. So it's converted into the JSON. So the dictionary and the JSON looks almost same. If you print, see it looks same. There is no difference, right? But the data type is different. The JSON, the Python doesn't have a data types called JSON Python, but the equivalent data types in Python is a dictionary. It's almost similar. So, but we want if you want to provide some JSON, if you wanna save, if you want to store this a JSON file, or if you want to create a file JSON file, so we have to convert the dictionary into JSON, a JSON string, and we can just store this particular data into a file. So that will create a JSON file. So this is what the method we use here, dumps, which we convert a dictionary into the JSON. Okay, I hope it's clear. Now let's move into the second method. The second important method is the loads. The loads is actually doing the opposite action. It converts a JSON string to a dictionary. So we'll have a JSON, we're converting that into the dictionary. So again, loads will be taking the argument which will be JSON, and it will return the dictionary object. So now we have, if you know J is a JSON string. Now let's actually just convert that back to dictionary, right? JSON dot, we're converting that back to dictionary. Loads J print you see, this is the last print which printing your type of yes, so that's became dictionary. So loads we are using. So imagine when we can use load, right? Load method. So let's take this scenario. If we have a JSON file, right? We have a file which has a JSON data, and we need to do some operation. Then we have to read that file, and we cannot do some operation to JSON file in Python because Python doesn't have a data type called JSON. So we have to convert that JSON data into some data type which Python is aware of. That's what dictionary, right? Dictionary is very much similar to the Python, and sorry, very much similar to JSON, and we can do a lot of operation in the dictionary. So that's why we are converting the JSON object, JSON data into dictionary using the method loads. So once we convert, we will be getting a dict object, a dictionary object, and the we can do various operations. You may see like the data looks similar, but the type of object is different. The JSON, the Python treat JSON as a string, so we cannot do the operation which we can do in dictionary. So we cannot read, we cannot read the value using the key when it's a string. So that's why it's important to convert a JSON to dictionary before doing any operation. So the method to do that is loads. So the two method in the JSON module is dumps and loads. Dump is a method using to convert a dictionary into JSON. So we have a dictionary, we have a data in the dictionary, so we want to save that data into a file, or we want to send that data as a JSON to some other endpoint. Then we have to convert that dictionary into a JSON using the method dumps. Okay, now another scenario, we have a data in a file. Okay, we have JSON data in a file, and we have to do some operation to the data. Then we have to convert that data into dictionary, because Python does not know a JSON data, how to deal with the JSON data. So we have to convert the JSON data into dictionary so that it will be easy to handle. Like we can do a lot of operation which we usually do in the dictionary because we are converting into dictionary object. So to convert a JSON into dictionary object, use the method loads. So load will be converting the JSON dictionary object. Now we can do anything. What I mean by the operation is, for example, if you wanna take SO, right? If you wanna take, see, we got this name, only the name, right? But if we go and try to do here the JSON print, this will throw an error. See, this throw error because Python actually treat JSON as a str, so we cannot, we can consume those data. So that's why it's important to convert, to and back, to and convert from dictionary and convert to dictionary if you want to deal with the JSON. Okay, I hope you're clear about these two method, JSON. I mean, the two method of the JSON, dumps and load. You should not confuse. Dumps is to convert a dictionary to JSON, and load is to convert a JSON to dictionary. Right? We are loading JSON into Python program. That's why we are using loads. So we are dumping into as a JSON. So when we use dumps, okay, again maybe remember like that. So that's it. I hope you have got some information, and maybe if you have still have some confusion about these two methods about in the JSON, or if you have some other doubt, feel free to ask in the comment section. Definitely I will be checking there. Also, if you find this video as informative, please subscribe to this channel, as well as please make sure you're liking this video and sharing with your friends. Thank you very much for watching. We will see you with another video. Thank you.